Sakti.
Sir?
Yeah, good morning. It is already 11:10.
Yes.
Okay, so you please start the meeting in the group. You can send the message to the group so that they
Yes.
can come in.
Sure. Hi, sir. Hi, everyone. Good morning to one and all. Happy to meet you for another session. So previously, I took the session one with respect to understanding what are the basics of startup. So we have completed the 4 sessions so far with respect to converting our research to startup. So in this session, we what the overall goal of this session is to understand what are the funding opportunities which are available for the student entrepreneurs or researchers. So what are the government schemes? What are the other funding sources which we can get from the VCs or angel investors? So, and also we will understand what is the term angel, who are the VCs, at what stage of the startup they come and fund the idea. Okay, so initial 15 minutes we will revolve around what are the things we have understood from the previous session. It's just a overall view what we have done in the previous session, and the next 1 hour we'll go and understand what are the various schemes, how to apply for the schemes, how CED can support you in applying for different schemes, and what are the eligible criteria that we'll go through, and each forms application form for applying the fund we will go through it, and another half an hour we will allocate for all your questions. Okay, so I am audible to everyone, no? So let me confirm. Someone can unmute and acknowledge in case if I am audible to you, or you can put it in the chat. Yeah, thank you, Karishma. So hope I am audible to everyone. So we'll go through the slides. So in the first session, what we understood is startup is a company which can grow exponentially. So growth is the one of the key parameters of any startup company, and it has to have a business model which can help the uh, idea and help the customer to have a value proposition. So you can make money out of it. So startup is a company which can grow exponentially. That is the takeaway from our first session. So, with respect to second session, what we do is we made some kind of assumption using design thinking process. We understood what is our problem, what is the solution we are providing, what is the channel, how we are going to reach customers. So we undertook the design thinking process and made a lot of hypothesis and assumption about our idea. And in the third session, with respect to business model, you try to jot down this all this assumption you can made in a framework called business model Canva, which you can take to the customer for validation. So the second session we made all the assumption and hypothesis, and in the third session we jotted it out in the business model Canva, and a lot of around 10 people have already sent their business model Canva to us, which we'll review soon. So last session, session 4, what we do is customer discovery and validation. So these are the steps we try to do in the customer discovery process. We try to build a business model Canva where we jotted down various parameters with respect to our startup. What is the value proposition? Who's our customer? How we are going to reach them? And how we are going to make money? This kind of all this data we try to put it in our business model Canva. Then after that, you might have tried to, we are requested you to talk with at least 4 or 5 customers. So you try to you might have talked with the customer to understand what is their problem, what is their real life look like, what is the way they are trying to use the product, how they use the product, or how currently they solve their problem, whatever problem which you are trying to solve. Currently, what is the existing solution? What are the drawbacks with respect to it? How efficient, how costly it is? This kind of data you might have talked with the customer and got it. And in the third step, you try to validate your assumption and the data collected from the customer, and you together you might have compared it and try to check what are the assumptions which we made are true, and which are the assumptions which you made may be wrong, which you have to change with respect to the customer data. So that third step you might have done with respect to customer validation. After finishing the business model, then you go to the customer and present your solution. So what is the for the problem which the customer is facing? You might have a solution. Okay, it may be a product, physical hardware or software, which initial layout you might have given. This is how the software may look. This is how the hardware may work. This kind of assumption you might have given to them. So the customer may have given feedback. This is the better way. We need the product. This feature we didn't like. This approach we don't like. We might improve. Kind of feedback they might given, and that's how we might validate our product. So we didn't develop any physical product. It's just on the paper how our solution works. So how the solution works, we have might have presented them, or we might have made a document and shown to them. They might have given a feedback how whether it is relevant to them, whether this is the exact way they want to solve the problem. So based on this all this stuff, you might have a initial idea to a validated idea which you can like pursue. So the customer discovery, the main goal is to have a confidence that I can invest my next 2 or 3 years in this startup idea. So you might have multiple idea, 4 or 5 idea. You need a confidence which one to pursue. This you might have validated through customer discovery. So next part, which currently we are going to do, see is about funding. Okay. So whenever when you ask for funding from any entity, it may be a government, it may be from your friends or family. So if the people who understand startup look for these three basic criteria, you should solve a problem, and there should be a proper solution for it, and should have a insight. Any startup idea should have these three factors: problem, solution, and insights. So next we will see what is the problem. One of the thing is your problem should be attractive, so it should be popular, it should be growing, and it should be urgent, and it should be expensive, mandatory, or frequent. Any of this, you should not have all this criteria. Any of this is okay. Any combination of one or two, at least one is enough. So can you say any popular problem which you face day to day? Everyone can. We are using a lot of startup apps in our. You can take the mobile apps. We are using Ola, Zomato, Paytm, Google Pay, Zoom, everything. So what's the popular problem currently during the COVID situation? What is the problem, popular problem which we are facing? Anyone can unmute and communicate, or I put it in the chat. Hello? So expensive. So for example, the current urgent problem is COVID vaccine. And the expense, if you say expensive problem, any, for example, there are petroleum pipelines which carries refinery items from one station to another station. If any crack or damage in the pipe, it may loss, any leakage may cost around $1 million of losses. So these are some of the examples of expensive problem. Mandatory, currently vaccines is one of the mandatory problem which may come in, like if it's currently vaccine is must. And frequently is food. So food ordering is one of the frequent, everyone is going to have food 3 meals per day minimum. So it is a frequent problem. So food delivery apps are trying to solve the problem for the people. So can you give examples for any popular or growing problems? You can unmute and answer, or put it in the chat. Timely delivery is lacking and no stock. Okay. Manigan, can you explain it in more detail if possible? Okay, so no issues. So after the problem, thing is most of the people initially focus on solution. Don't start here. Focus on your problem. Next is insight. So what is the unfair advantage you have on your idea? So whenever you are pitching your idea to any of the entity for funding, so they will look for any kind of competitive or unfair advantage. Sometimes it can be have a social perspective also, whether you are giving more employment, you are empowering women, or you are creating a social impact in the society, some environmental impact like sustainability also be one of the unfair advantage which you can have. So and it should be related to growth. This unfair advantage should make you to grow exponentially, and every startup should have it. Okay, we will see what is a few of the competitive unfair advantage. Some of the unfair advantages: are you a founder? You have a more unique insight about your idea. So there are a lot of people in the market trying to solve the problem what you are trying to solve. But you have experience, or you have different perspective or unique insights about the problem. You can think we can be more visionary, or you are able to collect the data and show some perspective to the market. And your market should grow exponentially. The product which you are launching for your market should be growing exponentially. So, for example, payment. If you say payment is a bigger market, everyone is currently everyone is having money, and everyone do transactions. So, digital payment fintech is a bigger market. But if you comes to sports, let's take sports in India. If you take football, hockey, and cricket, most of the people have large base fan towards cricket. So cricket is a huge market within India. But with respect to hockey, there are only fewer set of audience who are watching the match. So the market which you are looking should be a bigger market. So cricket, IPL are a very bigger market. But if you see our games like hockey leagues and all, there are a smaller market. So if you are a sponsor for a hockey league, you can reach a smaller set of customers. But if you are a sponsor for a cricket, you can reach a larger set of customers. That's how Byju's is doing. And your product. Are your product able to give 10x efficiency compared to the previous solution? So your product is the solution to the problem. Previously, the problem has some old solution. So current solution which you are giving, can it be 10% efficient, 10x efficient than the previous solution? That is one of the unfair advantage which we may have. And acquisition. If you have zero acquisition, for example, to acquire a customer, if you are spending zero money, then it is a like a profitable, highly profitable business. So it is one of the unfair advantages. If you example, Geo and Truecaller didn't initially spend any money on marketing. So by network effect and word of mouth, it got used by a lot of members. And monopoly. Are you able to create monopoly out of the product? For example, the winner takes all the market. Okay, in this case, for example, Ola, Uber, this is a scenario is there. So Ola has a more percentage of share. If you the current scenario Jio versus Airtel, it is becoming duopoly, so where most of the market share is between Jio and Airtel. So can your product have any kind of monopoly in the future? These are some unfair advantage. So the investors or any kind of person who is trying to give money to you will look for any of this criteria, whether you have a stronger problem or you have any unfair advantage. So these are the very crucial characteristics for your idea, which will help you in getting funding. Okay, so let's understand what are we have gone through this cases and stakeholders in the startup ecosystem. Why it is important is in each phases there will be a different entity who will provide funding for you, and the amount of funding is also extremely varies. So the number also varies. For example, during the idea and technology development, the problem of getting funding is very difficult. So any angel investors or for example, getting money from friends and family is possible because they trust you as a person. So you might have a previous experience previous experience, or they may willing to give you some amount as a charity. So this phase on universities. Generally, university has incubators, R&D centers. These will be able to collaborate with you for during the idea stages. Okay, and the second phase is early stage of work, where from very basic idea, proof of concept, we are trying to build a prototype, trying to enter into a commercialization phase, where you go for grants from the government entities, research institutes, and some angel fund investors. Okay, when during a startup establishment where you register as a company and you try to acquire top first 10 customers, during this stage you will go for angel of a higher value. Previously, the angel value will be from 30 lakhs to around 1.25 crores is the average value which angel generally invest. And the multiple angel may come. So at least 3 or 4 angel investors may come into a company and uh, invest the money. And next is seed and early stage. During the seed stage, you will be going in $1 million. So where you might have acquired 1,000 customers, where you understood the product which I am developing is solving a problem for multiple people, and we are growing exponentially. In this phase, the VC firms and private equity will come. And during the growth phase also, this is where it's called bit scaling phase, where you from million customer, 1 million customer, you will try to go for 10 million within a span of 1 or 2 years. So during this growth phases, in this phase, you have created a constant business model. You know who's your customer, what is the problem you are solving. You try to expand your market from India to global market. You try to sell your product from India to all over the world. This is the growth phase. And in the last phase, where IPO or acquisition happen, when you go for IPO, you have a stable business. You know the problem, this problem which you are solving is not going to be impacted by any external environment or any factors. So when you build a stable business, then you go for IPO and raise money from the public. So previous stages, what are the funding it is done? It is done by private equities, like for example, these private equities are the people who pool the money from the wealthiest people and try to invest in the startup by taking some percentage of shares from the company. Okay. So during the IPOs, you try to take the retailer monies, like public people will invest in the company. So we previously understood the different stages of stand-up. So currently, most of the people are in the idea or proof of concept stage. So during this stage, the funding which we may get is completely grants. So next we'll see what are the grants available. And with respect to prototype, minimum viable product, and go-to-market strategy. Go-to-market is like initially when you have, we are trying to get 10 customers, 100 customers. This is the stage. It's called go-to-market go-to-market stage, where you have a minimum viable product or prototype developed. And we will see what is the term minimum viable product in the next slide. So minimum viable product is like the solution, minimum solution which you can provide for your customer problem. Okay, and we should help them in a we should derive some value for them. It should be beneficial for the customer. So the minimum viable product is a product which solves a customer problem at a minimum level, and the customer should be able to feel it or use it. So it can be any app. For example, if you say Paytm, Paytm initially started as a payment gateway. Now they have Paytm Mall. They have they have a Paytm gateway interface for payment gateway interface, and they have banks, Paytm banks, where they give loans. So they have diversified. Initial minimum viable product for them is just for a payment recharge, for paying electricity bill. All the bills they initially started for paying the bills. They have diversified and they have used their product portfolios. Okay, and most of the business scholars may be familiar with this thing, technology readiness level. So whenever when you define your startup idea, you should be categorized under this technology readiness level. So it defines which stage you are in the startup. So there are TRL level 1 to 9. So the TRL level 1 is like basic principles are observed and reported. What happened? You have a theoretical representation of your idea. So this, what happened in most of the applications or most of the conversation you have it with your investors or any other funding agency, they will ask which level you are in your startup. This is a common language, so everyone can understand it. If you are in the TRL level 6 means you have a prototype. So TRL level means tier level 1 means we'll see what are the each level, how it works. Tier level 1, it is completely a theoretical representation of your idea. So you have made some assumption. You try to verify whether the theory may work. For example, I come with an idea of COVID identification, DNA, RNA extraction for COVID. So in this case, using nanomagnetic beads, so using some nanotechnology. In that case, I will take the technology, nanotechnology is feasible in the biotech. In this case, if it is with biotech, how the chemical reaction will be. So all this basic theoretical principle you try to put together, and you formulate in TR level 2, you completely define your technology, how your technology is going to work with the principle which you have selected. Then NPR level 3, you develop a proof of concept. In this, at least you try to show not a 100% result, at least 15 to 20% of accuracy, like whatever you have projected as your idea, you are able to achieve 50% of 15% of the result. It's just the initial proof of concept that shows the theory or a principle which you have taken will work. Then you will go for a laboratory prototyping where you develop different kind of components, hardware, systems, integrate it together, and you test it in the laboratory. So TRL level 4 and 5 and 6 comes completely in the prototyping development stage. And TRL level is whatever prototype you are developed, you run pilot out of it. You give it to the so the people who are having this problem, or you run it in the different environment to test how it is reacting. So pilot is completely testing your product out of laboratory. So pilot is completely, you develop prototype within laboratory. So whatever test you have done in the laboratory, it may work in the lab, but you want to check how it works in the other environment. So whatever test you do out of lab and in a live location or where the product will work, it is completely pilot running. So then once the pilot is run, we'll go for certification. System complete and qualified. It's where if in case if you need CE certification because of electronic instrument, with respect to biomedical, there are a lot of certification needed. You will go for each certification and get it cleared. And then you will prove the system is working in the operational environment. So the finally you will put in the proper working condition. So for example, if I am developing an IoT sensor for motor, where I am trying to sense the health of the motor, you might have done it in the lab with the AC environment. But if you put it near the industrial site, for example, it is a steel plant, the temperature will be at 45 degree over the working environment. So we have to put the sensor and check it over the operational environment. So where the sensor will be tested. So these are the different technology. With respect to technology, these are the level which you have to rank, which you have to give to your idea. So currently you work on your idea. So everyone, if possible, put it in your chat. What is the technology level you are in? Okay. Most of the people have idea. So if you don't have idea, it is okay. If you have an idea which technology readiness level you are in, you can put it in the chat. It can be a personal message or also. So I have a prototype machine. I plan to start manufacturing company. What kind of funding opportunity will be right for my now best? Okay. Money is able. We'll like Prism will be suitable for you. That we'll look it in the coming session, in coming slides. So if possible, please share us which technology readiness level you are with respect to your idea. Please put it in the chat. It can be like a private message also to me. Guys, you can unmute and also communicate in which level you are. Okay. So with respect to stages of funding, you have understood what are the stages of startup: ideation, idea, proof of concept, prototype, minimum viable product, and go to market. With respect to stages of funding, these are the stages. For each stage of startup, we will have different kind of funding. Grants. Grants are funding which you don't need to repay to the people who are giving it. So it will be in the range of maximum 10 to 20 lakhs. From starting from 2 to 20 lakhs, you can raise as a grant amount which you don't need to repay. And seed money is the money which is also in the same range from 5 to 10 lakhs, which you get it from the friends and family. And angel funding. Angel funding is given by the people who are already entrepreneurs who build a stronger business and they have made money out of that business and they are trying to invest that money in the early stage business. So they are already entrepreneurs who are successful and they are trying to invest this money, their earned money in the other early stage companies. So these are we call angels or angel funding. The check value will be in the range of from 25 lakhs to 1.4 crores. VC and the private equity, they come in the early stage and they comes in the later stage, not in the early stage. They come in the growth stage. Whenever you made a proof of concept, you have built your product, you have got 10 customers. From 10 customer to going to 10,000 customer, this VC and private equity company helps. So they look for a higher return. For example, if they invest 10,000 rupees in your company, they will look for a return of 10x, which is around 1 lakh. So this private equity company, they invest in the growth stage startup, and IPO is a last phase of the startup where they go public after building a strong business case. So how many of you are familiar with TBI's technology business incubator? What is incubator? Can someone define what is technology business incubator or TBI does? Generally, we'll go, what is incubator? So someone can put it in the chat and unmute as well. What is an incubator? So why it, generally where it is used?
Artificial support given to grow.
Yeah, artificial support given to grow. So yeah, exact, correct answer. Other than that, different perspective. So from business perspective, how you can tell how the technology business incubator helps, business incubator, how it helps? So I will give the answer also. You can check it on them. So what the incubators generally with respect to business? So incubator generally helps to nurture or grow an organism in a biomedical field. But with respect to business, this incubator also help to grow your idea. So what are the key things needed for your idea to grow? So what kind of support you are looking? For example, everyone has an idea. Okay. So here most of the people have an idea with respect to their startup. So what kind of support you are looking? You can put it in the chat and mute and communicate. So yeah, funding. So funding is one of the key things people are looking. Land, yeah. So you need a some people have put in land for their ideas. Yeah. Technologies and lab. So for, some people need lab to experiment. Some people need a power source, CROs. If in respect to chemical experiment, you need a lot of chemical reagents for carrying out your experiment. So technology, yeah, workshops to fabricate your product. You need a workshops. It can be a mechanical, electrical, or electronics. For fabrication, you need a workshop. Other than that, these are technology from business side. people can unmute and talk with me. So what are the reason, like with respect to business support, what you need for establishing your idea? What is the support you need from the business perspective? So guidelines to get fast funding. Okay, yeah, that is very important. So what are the characteristics of my idea that will help me to get the funding? So how I can pitch my idea, how can refine my idea so I can get the faster funding? Mentor, so technology mentor and business mentor to validate my assumption or to improve my way of thinking. Thank you, Guru Prayas. Other than that, so these are the important things already people have communicated. So technology business incubator, they have a fixed duration. For example, they give 12 to 18 months of time period to help you to convert your idea to a prototype and go to market. So they help you to find first 5 to 10 customers. From idea to product, then product to finding the first 5 customers, the incubator help. So they give technical facilities, mentors, laboratories, and physical space to work for you. But in case of accelerator, they come in growth phase. So incubator helps in ideation phase. Once you make idea goes into a product and get it with the customer hands, then from for scaling or during the growth phase, accelerator comes. So accelerators are typically they are fixed duration. For example, same way with respect to incubator, you can join incubator at any time. For example, incubator will make you, for example, incubator will be working for 365 days for whole year. You can join at any time span. But with respect to accelerator, they have a fixed program. For example, they have a quarterly one program or halfly one program, and they select a batch of people and try to accelerate their code. So this company help in completely growing your product. But incubator, they will support in lab everything, lab technology, everything. But when it comes to accelerator, it will be completely growth mentoring. With respect to incubator, it will be a product development mentoring. Okay, that is very crucial because most of the funding sources will be available from the incubator only. So incubator helps in getting grants for you. With respect to accelerator helps in getting angel funding, VC funding, and private equity. So if you see this funding, grants, and angel funding, you can get it from the incubators. With respect to VC, private equity, and angel funding, it will be completely available from the accelerators or any kind of uh, cohort with respect to growth phase. Okay. So now we will try to understand grants. So we are current discussion, we will completely focus on grants. Grants are non-repayable fund given by government department or non-profit entity for growth of startup. So, for example, no, as a company owner, I own 10%, 100% of my whole company. If you are a team of 2% or 3%, and you will, as an entity of 3, you will have 100% of company. You divide it between yourself equally or unequally. So it depends on that contribution each founder gives. For example, there are two people one people who brings business value, another people who brings the product and technology value. So these people will take 50% of equity. As a both together, they will own 100% of company. Okay, when you are going as a team, if I'm going for grant, I don't need to give any percentage of my company to the grant providers, which are government organization and non-profit entity. But in case of angel investment, VC or private equity, I have to give some percentage of company in order to get the money. So as a team, we create an asset, which is our company, our idea, product which you are making. We try to give ownership of 10% to the private equity or VC or angel investor in return to get the funding for growing our company. Okay. So grants are a non-repayable fund given by government department or non-profit entity for growth of the startup. So from your definition itself, you can understand this money you don't need to repay. It is not a loan at all. So loan, in case of loan, you have to repay. Here it is, you don't need to repay it. You can utilize completely for your product development and growth development of your product. Okay, and it is mostly given by government, and there are different schemes provided by different organizations, and you don't need, it is completely mostly driven by government agencies. So currently we look out what are the funding sources, grant sources. It is this amount you don't need to repay. So innovation voucher program, where you can get funding up to 2 lakhs to 5 lakhs maximum, which is provided by EDA, Entrepreneurship Development and Innovation Institute of. It is a government agency of state government, which provides funding for the MSME, startups, and students to develop their idea. And NIDHI-EIR is also support given for hardware development products. Up to 10 lakhs, you will get a grant amount, which you don't need to repay, and which you have to work with the technology business incubator to get access for this funding. And PRISM, promoting innovation in individual startup and MSME. Here you can get a grant up to 20 lakhs. And big grant, where you can get access to 50 lakhs of grant. It is completely for biology related technology. So biotech or biomedical kind of startup can apply for big grant. IEP is open for everyone. NIDHI-EIR is completely for hardware and hardware. In this, all the schemes, you are not, if you are developing any software, any agency won't provide grants, because software development is cost effective and you don't need a capital to develop a software. So with respect to any startup idea, it is not funded through this schemes. So any physical product which you can feel and touch can get grant from this funding. Okay. So generally, what is the reason you need funding? So most of the people told you need funding for converting your ideas. So why you need funding? How it is going to help you to grow? Can you list it out? You can unmute and communicate, or put it in the chat. Why funding is needed for you? What is the reason? Guys, I want everyone to put it in the chat or unmute and communicate, because this helps you to it gives more clarity for us to provide funding for you also. So because CED is collaborated with the EDA and for giving innovation voucher program. So most of the participants here can get the funding up to 2 lakhs with 2 lakhs very easily, if you are able to give the reason why you need funding, if you have a stronger business model. Okay, so you can put it in the chat why you need funding. What are the expenses you are going to manage with this funding? If I am able to give 2 lakhs funding to everyone, where you will spend this fundings amount? Please put it in the chat. It can be any amount. Guys, I am audible to everyone, no? You can raise your hand or put it in the chat, because no one is responding. I am audible to everyone, no? Mokshan is facing some. Another, now I am audible to you. So product development. So in order to develop your product, you need funding. So other than that, why you need an initial working capital? To buy systems or computer. Okay. Basic infrastructure to run the company. Other than that, yeah, to find customers. So to find a customer, we have to spend some initial sales or marketing thing. Okay, for that we need funding. Other than that, So everyone can please share your perspective in the chat. Major equipment. For example, to test or to do some kind of fabrication, you might be needing welding machines or some power sources, which are accessories required for your testings. Okay, major equipments. So, for example, if I am building a rocket, I need an infrastructure to test test my rocket. So, testing facilities can be considered as a major equipment. Yeah, to develop a pilot scale product, which is generally a minimum viable product, for that you need a funding. So, product development. Other than that, employee salaries you need to pay. It can be considered as a cost or a. So in initial stage, there will be two major uh, source of expenses. One is product development. Another thing is reaching customers and selling your product. Third will be your salaries. So people who are working, they need some minimal amount of. Since you own the equity, you can work without salary for at least 1 year, 2 years. But the people who are joining as your first day employees without any equity, any percentage of shares in the company, they can be paid. They have to be paid. In this case, we need some amount of money for their salary. And what is the better source of funding? So generally, in order to run a company, you need money. So which source of money is best you think? You can put it in the chat. You know different source of funding from my from previous slide. Which funding you think is the best funding to run the company? Yeah, you can answer. Someone has unmuted. You can answer. There are different sources of funding for running a company. Which funding you think is the best to running any company? What, ma'am? Chandra, I am Anand, sir. I am not able to hear you. Can you communicate once again? Which is the better source of funding? You can put it in the chat also. So, in first source of funding, which is very crucial for any company, is customer money. Okay, this funding, whatever we have seen, grants, seed, everything is going to support in the initial stage only. But in case of larger, in case of growing a business in more profitable way, customer money is going to help you. So one of the key thing is look for customer money. Customer money is from the day one, if you are able to sell your product and make money out of it, that is the better source of funding compared to private equity and VC. And this helps you to hold more percentage of company while raising money from the others. So customer is the best source of funding which you can get in any form. Okay, and Prism is also available for, there are different stages. Someone has put in the chat, it is completely for SME. No, it is available for students also, individuals also, startups and MSME on different stages. For minimum 5 lakhs to 2 lakhs, up to 2 lakhs, they are able to support for individuals. And for range between 20 lakhs, they are supporting startups and MSME, and they are giving up to grant about 50 lakhs, which they are giving in the different stages for people who are already setting up the manufacturing unit at a bigger scale. Prism is helping out. Okay. So for people who are graduating, if a PG students is there, if you have any idea which you want to validate, in this space, in that time you need some kind of funding to financially support you to survey on your own, to pay your daily expenses. The grant amount is given up to 30,000 per month to this startup. So for example, I am a person, I have 4 or 5 ideas. I want to validate any specific idea, so I can take an idea and register myself in entrepreneurship and residential program with any of the technology business incubator. So NIDHI department has given set of T-base which will support this program. VAT, PhD step, some another few are there. Well-tech. These people are having these schemes, so you can submit your idea to this incubator. If they approve your idea, you can work with them for next 12 months using their lab facilities, mentor support, and to validate, you can validate your idea, and they will pay you a grant of about 30 lakhs maximum per month to validate your idea. So once you are able to get successful product out of 12 months or validate your idea by 12 months, you can proceed with your idea. Else you can move out of the program. So this will help us you help as a buffer when you are trying to solve work on your idea. So this is the link for the program. So I will share the slide with you. So here NIDHI entrepreneurship EIR is entrepreneurship and residence program. So you can see the different terms and conditions. So NIDHI-EIR support person will be eligible for the grant of maximum 30,000 per month with a minimum level of 10,000 per month for a period of 12 months. If you are able to raise any kind of grants, for example, while you are in EIR, if you raise the innovation voucher program, or if you get big grant, you have to discontinue this grant, and you have to work on with that grant in future. And they will have office support, administrative support, and stipend to run their ideas. And it has to be gone through any T-based technology business incubator approved by NIDHI. That you can find the list in this website link. Okay. And the Prayas grant. This Prayas grant, the whole objective is to convert any science or technology ideas into a physical product. So any idea with respect to hardware development, it can be in biotech, clean tech, EV, everything you can get it under a Prayas grant. This also has to be gone through any T-base. So PhD step, VAT, well-tech. These people also provide this support. And also you don't, for example, you can get incubator in university incubator also, and you can work with another incubator with the PhD step or VAT. So incubation, you can have multiple incubation during this process, so you don't make a great impact. So you can work with university incubator and get support, and also you can work with another incubator which may be in Mumbai and get this grant, and you can work together to it. And the benefit is up to 10 lakhs grant, in which they will give access to lab infrastructure, everything. And duration is within 18 months you have to develop your prototype. From proof of concept to prototype, it has to be done within 18 months. And the selected innovator will be called Prayas, and it is basic. So you will get infrastructure, prototype, grant, and mentorship from all this while getting this grant. Okay. So you can see this link will help you to find what are the Prayas center available. So just I will click and show you few of the Prayas center. So I think you are able to see my screen. So these are the few Prayas center which are in within Tamil Nadu. So Kongu Engineering College, they have a T-Bay which they support NIDHI Prayas grant and EIR program, and PhD step in which Mr. Suresh sir is the contact person. They are also support these two schemes, NIDHI Prayas and NIDHI-EIR Entrepreneurship in Residence. And these are people who have within the year 1 and year 2. You can see there are each year some people. Vellore Institute of Technology, which is in the Vellore, also provide these two funds. And with respect to Hosur, Adiyaman College of Engineering is also having this access, and the well-tech TBIs, ISSC Bangalore. So you can work with any of this T-base to get this these grants. Forge Coimbatore is also having access to this funding. So about 5 to 6 institutes are available to support within Tamil Nadu for this grant. Okay. Next is PRISM. So PRISM has given funding in different stages. So there are two phases of funding: phase 1 and phase 2. Phase 1 is during the ideation stage. Phase 2 is during the growth stage. So in this phase 1, where the category 1 is where you are having a proof of concept or prototype or developing a working model, they give grant up to 2 lakhs and 90% of the total project cost, which is higher. For example, if your project cost is around 5 lakhs, so 90% of this amount, and the amount is around approximately 4.5 lakhs. They give you maximum of 2 lakhs only. Remaining amount you have to spend. For example, if your project value is around 2 lakhs, the grant which you can get for your project is around 90% of 2 lakhs, which is around 1.88 L. So remaining 20%, 20,000 you have to contribute. Okay, if your project cost is around 2 lakhs, the NIDHI PRISM will give you 90% of the cost, and the remaining 10% you have to contribute from your packet, and it has to be done with TBAs. So here there will be a different center. They have a different name for it. Similar to TBA, there are some support center which will help you to get this funding. So a lot of people are collaborated in this funding. For example, Madras University is one of the centers where they provide PRISM grant. And with respect to phase 1, any students can also avail this support up to 2 lakhs. But in case of category 2, where you have to be a startup or a private limited company to SME or MSME to get this grant. Here the fabrication of working model, patenting or technology transfer can be done in category 2, where you can get up to grant of 12 lakhs, in which 90% they will contribute. Remaining 10% you have to give it from your own packet, who can co-invest. So you have to give a small amount of money to get this grant. But with respect to NIDHI-EIR, whatever 10 lakhs they are providing, you don't need to invest. Invest. Guys, are you able to see my screen? Sorry, I think I didn't share the screen. So here, are you able to see my screen with respect to Startup India PRISM portal? Oh, sorry. I think I didn't share the screen properly. Now, are you able to see the PRISM portal? Promoting innovation in individual, startup, and the MSME. If so, please acknowledge.
So we can see your slides, session 5.
Oh, okay.
Funding.
Okay. Sorry. Now, are you able to see it, PRISM portal?
Yes, sir. Promoting innovation in individual startup.
Okay, guys. Sorry. Okay. So then I will go to NIDHI-EIR also. Now you are able to see the NIDHI-EIR portal.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sorry. Okay. So guys, we'll go back. So NIDHI-EIR, as you previously told, it will be it gives external support to the hardware company who are building a physical hardware with respect to any technology, biotech, clean tech, or VR, AR, edge computing, everything they support for it with respect to Fitbit, any
biomedical instruments, devices they support. So with respect to NIDHI-EIR, the most important thing is it should be a physical thing, and it should be from idea to prototype development. If you are having already a prototype and I want to build a replica of 10 model to test pilot, it is not supported. It is only for developing proof of concept or prototype development. And within you can see what are the NIDHI-EIR center available within Tamil Nadu. You can see Erode, there are Kongu Engineering College, and PSG step. So PSG step in Coimbatore is also providing this grant. So you can, for example, they have an application in their website. You have to go and fill the application where they have a basic questions. What is the problem you are solving? What is the solution? What is the unique competitive advantage you have? What is the technology you are building? Whether it is patentable. So you have most of the basic questions which you have to fill, and they will have a review meeting with there will be a committee who will review your idea, and based on it they will select and provide grant for for you, and you have to be incubator over there. And Velu Institute of Technology is also providing in Velu Institute of Technology. Then Adiyaman College of Engineering in Hosur is also providing within Tamil Nadu, and Valtech TBA from Chennai. They are also supporting this grant, both NIDHI-Prayas and NIDHI-EIR entrepreneurship in residence. Okay. Then with respect to PRISM is
Sir,
yes, ma'am.
so what was that 1 year, 2 year, and 3 year?
These are like these people got approval from between 2016 to 17. These people are the eligible people. Okay. Then the 2018 to 19, these people, another few more people got added. Okay. Initially, previously.
Okay.
So these people are the authorized people. Now year 2, these people got added. Year 3, these people got added. So
Okay.
all these
Yes, this was started just before 3 years. So only 3-year data.
Yes, 3-year data. So these people are currently active. Okay, these people are, for example, no, if you want the grant, you can go to any of this prayer center from year 1, year 2, year 3. These people got, for example, no, in order to get the prayer center also, you have to give application. For example, if I have an incubator, I am running an incubator. I want to register myself as a prayer center. I will have a similar procedure how startup get filtered. So we have to fill an application form. We have to show our infrastructure and get registered as a prayer center. So within the year 2019, these people got registered as a prayer center. Okay.
Okay, sir, got it. You can proceed.
Yeah. So with respect to PRISM, there are 2 phases, phase 1 and phase 2. With respect to phase 1, they are supporting proof of concept prototype models basically, and here the students is also eligible. Any citizen, including student innovator, can avail support to develop their novel idea into demonstrable working model or a prototype. Okay, but in respect to category 2, where from prototype stage you are trying to build a factory or beginning a bigger scale model, in this case you have to be a startup company or a MSME to do it. So during if you are a student, you can get a no objection certificate from your HOD and avail the proof of concept. For example, in phase 1, if you want to apply most of the scheme, you have to get a no objection certificate from your university. Like whatever idea he or she is working, it is not going to get affect your studies. So this NOC is generally needed while applying for it. In case of IVP, it is not required. In case of NIDHI-Prayas and PRISM, it is needed, mandatory to get a no objection certificate from your university. And phase 2, it is completely for enterprise incubation. For example, you are an established company, you are building a bigger scale product where you are looking for a grant up to 50 lakhs they are able to support, which in which 50% you have to contribute. In the phase 1 also, if the project cost is around 2 lakhs, the maximum amount they will provide is 90% of it. Remaining 10% we have to co-collaborate. We have to invest from our hand to get this grant. Okay. So next is innovation voucher program. So are you able to see my presentation? 1 minute. So charger. So innovation voucher program is provided by Entrepreneurship Development Cell, which is the nodal agency for entrepreneurship development within Tamil Nadu. So the scheme has the main goal of this scheme is to increase the innovation capacity, turn any ideas or projects into an startup company, and encourage and sustainable collaboration between industry, academia, and government. So they want to bring collaboration between different stakeholders in the ecosystem. So the major three stakeholders in this program is EDA. As applicant, EDA is the government agency who is going to give the fund. Second one is applicant. So the people like us who are running a startup, or you are having an idea. You can be a student or a MSME or any. You can be a private limited company startup also or proprietorship also. You can be considered as an applicant. And the third one is the knowledge partner. So as an applicant or a startup, we need a problem. We need initial prototype development. For that, we need some kind of technical or knowledge support. So applicant, we go to the knowledge partner or research institute or academia, like institute like a university or any universities, and we try to give the problem which we are trying to solve to them to collaborate and develop solution for it. So as a startup idea, you want to do some kind of biomedical research where you have to conduct lot of tests. So the test which, for example, you can take with respect to biomedical, I am trying DNA RNA extraction. So in case of DNA RNA extraction, I want to have a raw material of DNA RNA extraction. That is the requirement for me. But how to do the DNA RNA extraction, I don't know. So I will go to a knowledge partner who knows how to extract DNA RNA from any viruses or any from, for example, COVID-19 we can take, which is an RNA virus. So we'll try to extract RNA from the COVID-19. So for that, we don't have the infrastructure or we don't have an expertise. But based on the DNA, RNA, you are able to, you are trying to develop some solution out of it. So to extract RNA, you go to the knowledge partner who has an expertise for extraction. They have the equipment, they have the people who can do the extraction, and they will support for you. Okay. So they have the expertise, knowledge about the problem which you are trying to solve, and they are going to support it. So this you together go to EDA and ask for funding. As an applicant, I have a problem. The problem which I am trying to solve, the knowledge partner have a more expertise in that problem. So we try to collaborate together and develop a solution. For that, we need funding, and we go to EDA for that funding amount. So that's how the IVP Innovation Voucher Program works. Okay. So for example, I run a company called Author Energy. So Author Energy, we are developing a monitoring solution for solar cells. Okay, for that we are developing a physical hardware. So I am a software person. So as a software person, I know how to develop a front end, back end, server, everything. With respect to hardware, I have a minimal knowledge. So for that, I need hardware in my product. So I collaborate with the knowledge partner. For example, it can be an university who has an expertise in developing the hardware for me. So I give the problem statement. This is the requirement. This is the number of IOs I need. This is the power source I want to interface with. These are the processors I have to use. So this kind of spec I give to knowledge partner. They will help us in developing. They will, most of the time they will put their effort and develop product for us, or they will guide us. This is how we have to do. This is the infrastructure you can use to develop the product. and for this whole product development, I will go to EDI for funding. So there are two kind of vouchers. So voucher A and voucher B. So voucher A is supported for technology roadmap and market research. For example, if you want to do any market research for your product, feasibility study of your idea, so you want to do some kind of lab, basic lab testings or experimentation to study the feasibility of ideas or principle behind the technology, you can go for voucher A. And material design, if you are working on any biotechnology product where you are trying to define a material, trying to select a material. For example, there are different materials. You want to check the characteristics of each material and design one, select one proper material. In this case, you can go for a voucher A, where you can see the do the material design studies. And R&D for your new products. If you are developing, for example, already you are a MSME, you have a product, you are trying to develop another portfolio of product for your company. In the case to do R&D, you can get funding from EDI. So they also support through voucher A. And voucher B is after you have developed a product where you are trying to scale, where you from a working model you are trying to put as a working product. So from prototype to product conversion, what are the service engineering from fabrication to fabrication activities to all the components, subsystem procurement, design services, and technology transfer. For example, getting IEP, any certification needed. So that can be applied through voucher B. So voucher A and voucher B. And voucher A is value of maximum 2 lakhs. Voucher B is value of 5 lakhs. So that we see what is the contribution. So in case of voucher A funding, as we have to contribute maximum 20%. So 80% of the cost will be, for example, EDA will give 80% of the cost of the project only. For example, for the hardware which I am trying to develop for my company with the help of knowledge partner, the total cost of the project value is around 2 lakhs. Okay. In this case, EDA, entrepreneurship development innovation, will support only 80% of the cost. Remaining 20% we have to contribute from our hand, and among this 80%, maximum what the value they can give is 2 lakhs only. So if my product value is around 3 lakhs, so the maximum amount which you can get from as a funding is 2 lakhs only. Remaining 1 lakh I have to put my hand to complete the project. So we have to co-collaborate, to co-invest in the with the knowledge partner to complete this idea. With respect to voucher B, if the product, for example, I am developing a project prototype, which is a cost of around 7.5 lakhs. In this, maximum 50% only knowledge EDA will provide. So if the project value is around 7.5 lakhs, 75 lakhs only EDA will provide. Remaining 3.75 we have to contribute from our hand. With respect to CED, Center for Entrepreneurship is supporting mostly in voucher A, where they are also trying to give the 20% of amount through university. So if so, most of the people who are in the idea stage, you can go for a voucher A. Who are in the product development stage, you can go for a voucher B. Okay, and it should be completed within the 12 months. So there will be a tripart agreement. There will where you will acknowledge that we will complete this whole project, the problem which we are going to give to the knowledge partner within 12 months. So eligibility criteria, it is open to everyone. So it's like students, MSME, everyone can collaborate, and there is a term called CIBIL score. If you are, it is not required. So if you are registering on a day one, you won't have any income or loan with you. So in that case, you can they won't consider CIBIL score, and you should not have any prior contact with knowledge partner. That is one of the term condition. It happens with respect to MSME. For example, MSME, they will take another MSME as a knowledge partner. In this case, they might have collaborate and do some kind of fund transfer. So this is not allowed. But with respect to academia, it is not an issue. For example, I am a student of Anna University. I can put Anna University as a knowledge partner. In that case, it won't be any issue. So what are the criteria for knowledge partner? So as a startup, I will collaborate with knowledge partner. Who can be a knowledge partner? What are the institute or entity that can act as a knowledge partner? Reputed national institutes, research department of university. It can be electrical or electronics, any department where you are studying. Research labs, any research lab of MNC companies or large industries can be a knowledge partner for you. And the product design consulting stream or makerspace. There are a lot of makerspace like Forge, uh, um, Maker Tribe. These are maker spaces who have fabrication lab within their infrastructure. So you can collaborate with them as a knowledge partner and get your product developed. The key eligibility of knowledge partners, they should be located in Tamil Nadu. They should be capable of giving scientific or technical expertise, and they have resource to perform R&D. For example, if you are taking your university department as a knowledge partner, you should have a knowledge expert who can help you in that specific domain. For example, if I am a computer science department, for example, computer science, since with respect to software, they don't provide any grants. If I am developing a electric vehicle, so I have to go to my electrical department and have two knowledge experts. So one person who should be very strong in battery technology or charging technology, another person from mechanical department who knows understand the electric vehicle structures. So the knowledge partner which you are choosing should have knowledge expert who have a very good expertise knowledge about your idea. That is one of the key criteria for knowledge partners. So process is simple. There will be an online application where you fill all the basic information, which we'll go through in the next slide. And they will filter the application and call for technical committee meeting. So once you are technically clear, they will go for steering company. So the technical committee, what they will see is what is the problem you are solving, what is the solution you are providing, how it is technically feasible, and it has any innovation or novelty to it, or it can be any kind of social impact. So that they will check in the technical committee. In steering committee, they will check whether it has any business towards it. So can we make money out of the product solution we are providing? So and they will check the eligibility of the knowledge partner. Who is your knowledge partner? The knowledge partner have the capability to support the problem which you are trying to solve. So this kind of basic verification they will do in the steering committee. Then the voucher will be rewarded, and you will get the funding of 90. Initially, they will release 50% of the funding. If, for example, if I get 2 lakhs as a grant through voucher A, initially they will release 1 lakh. Once you complete the first phase of the with the amount, then you have to put your own contribution, remaining amount. After that, they will release the remaining 50%. So that's how the process will be. And in the whole this process, knowledge partner will be helping you. And end of the day, you will have to submit after you convert your idea to a prototype. What are the problem which you are giving to knowledge partner? After the completing the giving solution for that problem, they have to submit a report, a project submission report. Based on that, the whole project will be closed, and you can reapply multiple times. So the voucher A can be applied multiple times. With respect to voucher B, it can be applied once, but voucher A you can apply in different phases. For example, during feasibility study, I can apply voucher A. After completing feasibility study for material design and selection, I can reapply voucher A. This voucher A can be applied by a single entity multiple times. So there is no restriction or limit for it. Okay. So this is the schedule. Generally, it will be done in the span of 1 month. So generally, in the 10th of every month, we have to fill the application. 15th of the month, we will have a steering technical committee, and 25th of every month, we will have a steering committee where they will check all your business eligibility. After that, they will inform your selection, and we will sign the agreement. Within 3 or 4 weeks, you can start the work, and they will release the amount from 7 days way of submitting the agreement to them. So that we have to make a tri-party agreement. In the tri-party agreement, whatever work you do, it is owned by yourself only. So EDA or knowledge border doesn't have any access to the IP or technology they are solving. So you own the complete technology which the knowledge partner is working for you. So we'll see the application form. What are the data in that? Before that, we have to check the funding which you are trying to get from through IVP, Innovation Voucher Program. You should be used for the following purpose only. The funding should be used for technical development, any kind of testing or certification, proof of concept development, laboratory charges that you can use for R&D development. With respect to product development, any engineering work, any AutoCAD design, PCB design, from any lab test thing can be done through product development criteria. And with respect to technology transfer and intellectual property development, if you need any legal advice, licensing, and any trademarks you are making and registering for IP, this funding you can use. You cannot use this funding for training courses. For example, if you are trying to develop a hardware, for that you need to understand embedded programming. In this case, for learning embedded programming, I cannot spend this money to buy any courses. And salaries, you cannot take salary out of it. And any hardware purchase, for example, you need an oscilloscope required for testing. You cannot buy the oscilloscope. You can use the help of knowledge partner to get access to the oscilloscope where you can pay rent. You should not buy the hardware. You can pay rent for accessing the infrastructure or hardware. And any business or strategy planning, website development, and maintenance of facility. For example, paying rent or any admin fee that cannot be done through IVP. So it should completely go in this category only: commercialization support service, technology transfer, product development, and research and development. You should not use for other miscellaneous infrastructure. You should be purely going into product development. So if you see the application, I think most of the people will be able to see it. I think I have shared it properly. So what is the project title? You have to describe your idea in 1 or 2 lines. For example, if I am trying to develop a fast charger, to develop a fast charger which is more efficient. For example, you have to give some kind of number or innovativeness, novelty to your project title, which is 95% efficient or 10x, 2x cheaper than the existing one, or it can charge 1.5 times compared to the existing EV fast charger. So project title should have some kind of innovativeness or a uniqueness about your idea. Then and which problem you are solving. It can be fintech. There are some kind of list they have given, which is agriculture you are solving, or in industries you are solving, industry 4.0, with respect to network or food tech. So there are different sectors, and you have to define the scope of your and objective of the project. What is the scope or limit which I am trying to solve the problem, and what is the objective I am trying to achieve out of this project. For example, I am trying to give a solution. What are the benefits I can reap out of this project? And what are the activities? What are the different? We have to define your workflow from A to Z. From day one, I'm trying to do procurement for my prototype, POC concept design, then POC procurement, POC testing, then POC to product prototype development. So these different stages you have to define, and based on that, what is the budget you are going to spend for each phases of this project. And previously, one of the important thing is what is the role of knowledge partner and the applicant. So as a knowledge partner, what kind of support they are going to give, whether they are going to give lab support, mentorship, or they are able to give some kind of uh, fabrication done for you, this kind or testing. So this kind of thing you have to specify the role, specify in this application. And the nature of innovation. So what is the innovation you are trying to bring? It can be any IP, or it helps in that previously saw, no, what are the criteria for problem. It should be a popular or a immediate urgent problem. So you have to define the nature of innovation. So how the innovation is going to impact the customer or the people who is going to use this. And impact, how it is going to create value. It is going to improve the efficiency, or it is going to reduce the emission, or it is reduce the toxicity in case of biomedical, and in case of other hardware, it is going to reduce the man hour required to complete your work. So this kind of impact has to be put in number form, and can be any social impact also. If you are creating employment, making revenue for people who are in the poverty, this kind of it can also consider as a impact. Then other things are repeated points. What is the need of the project? What is the competitive advantage? What is the competitive advantage? There will be other 2 or 3 providers who will be solving the same problem what you are trying to solve. So we have to differentiate from them. So you have to have some technology innovation, or with respect to marketing or sales or business model. Also, you have to provide some differentiation with the existing solution. And the level of impact, collaboration with knowledge partner. Partner would achieve. Oh, this is a unwanted point, I think so. And give one sentence pitch about your project. You have to give a one sentence where you will address what is the problem you are trying to solve, who's your customer, how it is different from the current solution, and how it is more valuable, how it is efficient, or how it is going to create impact. Other than that, you will have the basic information. What is the company name, applicant name, company address, company classification, and most important thing, no, you don't need to be a private limited company or LLP company to apply for it. You can be a proprietorship, register with the NIDHI-EIR. So as everyone, as an individual with the PAN card, you can, and Aadhaar card, you can apply an NIDHI-EIR. With NIDHI-EIR, you can completely apply this form. So you don't need any legal work to get done for this application. So you can just you go to YouTube and search how to apply for NIDHI-EIR, and based on that you can fill the application. It will ask for basic questions. Only thing where you have to be careful is what are the activities you are going to do out of this MSME. That activity have to be more broader. Not only you have to specify the whole vision. For example, currently I am doing electronic services. In future, I may do electronic development, electronic maintenance, electronic servicing. So there will be a different code for all the activities which you are going to do out of this company. Everything you try to specify in the NIDHI-EIR. So it will be helpful in the future. And annual turnover, if you are registering on day 1, you can put it on 0. So it is not an issue. Okay, NIDHI-EIR you can get it is, you can be registered free of cost, and it takes 2 or 3 days to get the NIDHI-EIR. So it doesn't involve any legal charges. So it can be done easily. Then all the information about the knowledge partner you have to specify. And declaration. So one of the declaration is you should not be duplicated. Whatever idea you are working on, you should be a novel one. And we have to be contributing 20% or 50% of the project cost. Initially, we have told we have to co-invest. So there will be a three stakeholders: applicant, knowledge partner, and EDA. Applicant and knowledge partner together try to solve the problem, and we go together to the EDA for funding. They will provide the funding to knowledge partner, and they will help in solving the problem. They will manage all the finance together. So why EDI is not giving money directly to the startup is EDI doesn't have any technical expertise to understand what is the idea you are working, and they don't trust entrepreneurs whether so the fund which we are giving, whether they are spending completely for startup product development, which they are not able to monitor. So that's why they bring the science stakeholder knowledge partner. So EDA directly give funding to the knowledge partner. So you and knowledge partner, as the applicant knowledge partner, collaborate together and spend the money and maintain all the documentation with respect to expenses. So this is the like basic overall view about IVP Innovation Voucher Program. If you have any doubt with respect to Innovation Voucher Program or any funding, you can put it in the chat. I will try to answer.
Sir,
Oh yeah.
so this you had mentioned manufacturing and services.
Yeah.
So this forecasting will come under servicing only, right? Because there is no hardware involved in the products.
But what happened, no, ma'am? We have to, for example, no, while forecasting, you might be using some kind of sensors, no, for forecasting. Or any stations you are using?
No, I need data.
Data. With
If
respect
the
to,
customer can provide me, I can give him the forecasted value. So it will come under a service.
it comes under service, but it should be a physical product which we have to feel, ma'am. So typically, you are you might need a server, a high computing computer, which
That is needed because to take data. Huh?
in this case, no, ma'am, the innovation voucher program doesn't, any of this grant doesn't support, ma'am, for software development, software products. So it should be any kind of physical product. So you are doing is a service, but the service through software. So you crunch the data, do forecasting, and provide a output in form of application dashboards. Output as the form of dashboards. So it is completely like a software product, ma'am.
So
In this case,
none of funding will be applicable for that.
no, ma'am. So generally, if you are looking for grants, it is very difficult, ma'am. But you can go for angel funding and private equity funding. So you can take the customer data, work it on of the, for example, you can collaborate with any of the industry person. For example, if you are doing a forecast for a weather forecasting for a solar plant, for example, you try to do the forecasting for solar farms, because this farm has to give scheduling to the grid each and every time. So you collaborate with any of the toppest solar developers. For example, Tata Power, you collaborate with them. You try to get funding from them. So I am working on this data crunching. You provide data access to me, and your any amount for getting the server access, I will get and solve the problem for and show the output for it. I don't sell the algorithm or base work. For example, you might have developed a machine learning model for it. So you don't sell the model, you show the output. This is how the reality is. For example, there is a fault happening, which I predicted this within this much span, you check it out, kind of thing. So you have to be through industry collaboration. That is the better way of solving this problem. So you will get the data also, you will help them. So it will be a win-win situation for the both of them.
Okay, so means I have to directly contact, teach, and people who need forecasting.
Yeah. So we are doing forecasting for which industry? Any specific sector you are doing?
I have tried this with wind energy and wind, power under NIDHI.
Okay.
And now I wanted to do it for, forecast it for anybody who needs like solar or wind or any other, if you have data, you give me, I can get the forecasted value for you.
Yes, ma'am. So in this case, no, you collaborate. For example, you run pilot. You already have a model. So yeah, at least you know how to develop a model. What happened? You develop, go with any Tata Power or any wind farm developers. who has 5 or 10 wind farms. You tell I will provide a service for free of cost, okay, and you provide a initial solution, initial one problem you try to identify which is very expensive for them. For example, there is a damage in a their rotor, there is a temperature increase in the rotor, if you say. So because of that, there will be a failure within the failure in next to 1 or 2 weeks, which may give you a loss of around a few thousands or lakhs, 5 lakhs. There will be a loss. Like that, if you try to give an accurate projection, then they will able to trust you. You can build a trust with it. After that, you can charge directly. You can build a after that they will provide complete. They will ask you for the product and services completely from your side. So
So for
usually,
this, there is no need for registering as a company or a startup like that.
you can run as a
It
proprietorship, ma'am. So it can be done as a proprietorship.
Okay.
So, for example, there are 3 phases you can register a company in India. One is proprietorship, one is LLP, and a private limited. So, in order, as per as a definition of startup, it should be a private limited company. Okay. Definition of startup as per as India, startup India is you should be a private limited company. But you can consider yourself as a consultant, and as a you are an expert in your field. So you can register yourself as a proprietor. Proprietorship is a company also. So it is a company, but it is not a startup. So it can be considered as a SME company, small and medium enterprises, and you can provide the services to the customer.
Okay, fine.
Yes, ma'am. We'll have a detailed conversation, ma'am, and we'll look at how we can help you in reaching the customer. A few more questions. So other than that, any questions with respect to innovation program? Because innovation program, since 3 entity is involved, I want you people to understand this one. Whatever the important key takeaway from this last 1.5 hours, what I need is innovation program has 3 stakeholders: EDA, applicant, and knowledge partner. EDA is the person who is giving fund. They don't give fund directly to applicant because they don't have a expertise or information about the idea or technology which are working. So they route the money through knowledge partner. So you and knowledge partner has to collaborate together. Knowledge partner is the person who know more about the technology you are working and they have expertise. You both together, you submit a problem or a idea to them. They based on that the EDA will evaluate and give funding to both of you, and you get together and get it solved. In this, EDA will give only 80% of the total project cost up to maximum 2 lakhs. In case of voucher A, if you are going for voucher B, they will give maximum 50%. Remaining 50%, we have to, as applicant, we have to contribute to the knowledge partner to get it done. So EDA will directly give 80% of the money in case of voucher A to knowledge partner. Remaining 20%, we have to give to the knowledge partner to solve the problem together. Hope you understood this one. Any question with respect to innovation voucher program? Other grants, I think most of the people are not ready. Maybe to be ready for that, you have to be having a business model pitch deck ready. So that pitch deck we'll see in the upcoming session, how to make a proper pitch deck. With respect to innovation voucher program, do you have any queries? You can put it in the chat. Is the person working on EV faster than available in the meeting? Any biotech startup here? Any person with a biotech idea can just let me know in the chat. Ma'am, can you explain your picture idea, basically what biotech idea you are working on? You can unmute and communicate, or you can put it in the chat. With respect to biotechnology, so okay, waste to energy conversion. So here you can go for big grant, because big grant waste to energy conversion need initially a lot of capital. With respect to big grant is you need lot of data validation. So initially you have to talk to customers, you have to get letter of intent for your ideas, and you have to have a stronger mentors. So big grant, you can go for big grant, which is the better one compared to innovation voucher program, other things which are very minimal value of 2 to 5 lakhs. You can go for big grant, which is completely, you don't need to invest any money. You will get a 50 lakhs full complete grant money, but you have to have a team, around team of 2 or 3 members. There should be a lead technical person, and a lot of data has to be submitted, because their application is more crucial, and there are a lot of screening process, and it happens twice a year, so you have to be prepared for it also. So you check it out. And do it. So you are in the technology readiness level 7. Okay, cool, ma'am. Then we'll have a personal conversation with one another, and we'll try how we can go for big grant or IVP. So I think everyone can apply for innovation voucher program. So I will we will share the login information and the application form. How it is available in online only. I have just copied that application from the online and put it in the Word document. Anyway, I will share the Word document with you. You try to fill your idea in that Word document. We'll review it, and we'll help you in applying for innovation voucher program, so that everyone can get access. Since CED is the one of the empaneled member for a knowledge partner, everyone can easily get access through this grant amount. So Ananda sir, we will share the slides, and if possible, it is the video recording is available in the YouTube. You can check it out. Any other queries, team? If anything, I have not explained clearly, you can ask, so I can re-explain it. People, please fill the feedback form, which will help us in improving the upcoming session. So if you don't have any questions, and you have filled the feedback form, you can leave the session. And you can mail us in case of if you, most of the people have mailed the business model Canva. If not, please send the business model Canva. Whoever not communicated to us yet, so that we can help you with getting this innovation voucher grant to you.
So feedback link is not there in the chat.
Okay. Wait, ma'am. We will ask Sakti to run it. Guys, please fill the feedback form, and in case of any query, you can ask.
இரண்டாம் பகுதி அர்ச்சனா அணியினர் இந்த டாஸ்கில் வெற்றி பெற டாஸ்கின் இரண்டாம் பகுதி அர்ச்சனா அணியினர் இந்த டாஸ்கில் வெற்றி பெற 3க்கும் மேற்பட்ட இயந்திரங்கள் செயலளிக்க வைக்கும்படி செய்யும்.
இல்ல பிசிக்கல் டச் பண்ணாவோ உடனே பிரேக் ஆகும் உங்களுக்கு தெரியும். இவருக்கு மட்டும் ஆஜித் பண்ணாரு. எங்க பண்ணா நீங்க பண்ணக்கூடாது அவ்வளவுதான். யார் தெரியுமா? நான் தான் டைட்டர் இல்ல. ஜாபர் ஹெர்பல் க்ளோ பேஸ்ட் மற்றும் அம்மா வழங்கும் பிகாஸ் 5 ஸ்டார் மற்றும் பிரிட்டானியா ஹோட்டல் இன்று இரவு 9:30க்கு உங்கள் விஜய் மற்றும் டிஸ்னி பிளஸ் ஹாட்ஸ்டாரில்